The night is quiet outside, but inside the tavern the air is thick with resentment. It's the kind of place where hope goes to die, replaced by cheap ale and bitter complaints. The patrons mutter about the great old families, the nobles who play their war games while the common folk suffer like slaves. In the corner sits a man, draped in a cloak, trying to drown his sorrows. He's looking for nothing more than a warm drink and a tree to sleep under. But trouble has a way of finding him. As he stands to leave, his cloak shifts. A symbol on his chest catches the light. The mood in the room snaps instantly. "That's a family crest," a patron growls. And not just any crest, it's the mark of House Belmont. The accusation hangs in the air like a blade. The Belmonts were once legendary monster hunters, but now they are outcasts, excommunicated by the church, blamed for the black magic and the hordes of Dracula that plague the land. Trevor tries to deflect, tossing a coin to pay his tab, just wanting to walk away. But the locals won't let him. They see a scapegoat. They see the cause of their misery. "Confess," one demands, shoving him, "and I'll make it quick." Trevor sighs. He's drunk, tired, and armed with a short sword and a whip. But he's done hiding. "Trevor Belmont," he grunts, the name heavy with history. "Last son of the House of Belmont." The first punch is thrown and chaos erupts. It's 4 against 1, but they made a critical mistake. They assumed a drunk Belmont couldn't fight. Trevor moves with a sloppy but brutal grace. He takes a hit, groans, but snaps back with vicious precision. A knee to the face, a dirty strike to the groin. "Would you please leave my testicles alone?" he shouts, dodging a clumsy swing before delivering a bone-crushing kick. He isn't fighting like a hero, he is fighting like a survivor. Within moments, the barroom brawlers are writhing on the floor, groaning in pain. Trevor stands over them, panting, victorious and completely wasted. "I'm Trevor fucking Belmont," he announces to the room, "and I've never lost a fight to man nor beast." The adrenaline fades, replaced instantly by the nausea of too much ale. He doubles over, vomits on the floor, curses the lot of them, and stumbles out into the cold darkness. Morning brings a blinding headache and a grim reality. Trevor wakes up in a ditch, miles from comfort. Ahead of him looms the city of Gresset, his last hope for food before starvation sets in. But the city is a fortress. The gates are barred tight. No one in, no one out. The fear of Dracula's horde has turned Gresset into a prison. But Trevor is desperate. He spots a drain pipe jutting out of the moat, spewing filth into the water. It's disgusting. It's humiliating, but it's a way in. "Never thought I'd be so hungry I'd climb a shit pipe for breakfast," he mutters, wading into the muck. He scales the slippery stone, fighting the stench, and slips past the sleeping guards at the top. He's inside. But Gresset is no sanctuary. The streets are silent, heavy with the smell of decay. Flies buzz over bodies left in the gutters. The atmosphere is suffocating. With his last coin, Trevor buys a scrap of dried goat meat from a street vendor. He takes a bite, eyes scanning the grim streets. He is a Belmont in a city that hates him, surrounded by death, with nothing but a whip and his wits. The real fight is just beginning.
The city of Gresset is a cage. Inside the walls, the air is thick with fear and conspiracy. Trevor moves through the shadows, listening to the terrified whispers of the locals. They speak of a sleeping soldier, a legendary hero resting beneath the catacombs, waiting to save them when the darkness gets too heavy. But right now, the only thing rising is the body count. The locals don't just fear the night creatures, they fear the church. The bishop has turned the town into a paranoid slaughterhouse, blaming a peaceful tribe of nomads called speakers for Dracula's curse. Trevor turns a corner and finds this hatred spilling out into the open. Two priests, thugs in holy robes, have cornered an elderly speaker. The old man stands calm and defenseless as the priests taunt him, blaming his magic for the monsters. One priest draws a knife, sneering, ready to murder the old man in broad daylight just to make himself feel powerful. But he picked the wrong alley. Trevor steps in, his voice low and bored. "How's your finger?" The priest blinks, confused. "What finger?" In a flash of movement, Trevor strikes. With the precision of a master hunter, he severs the priest's finger before the man can even process the pain. The alley erupts in screams. Trevor doesn't waste time with speeches. He unleashes a brutal, efficient beatdown, leaving the holy men broken and bleeding on the cobblestones. "Take him back to your church," he growls, "and don't bother these people again." The priests scramble away like rats. The elder, shaken but dignified, thanks Trevor, though he gently scolds him for the violence. Trevor just shrugs. He escorts the old man back to the speaker's lodge, a crumbling safe haven in the middle of the madness. Inside, the truth comes out. The speakers aren't evil wizards. They are historians, preserving knowledge orally because paper is dead. They tell Trevor why they haven't fled this cursed city. They know the real reason the demons are here. The church burned Dracula's wife as a witch a year ago. The monsters aren't random. They are punishment. But the speakers refuse to leave the sick and dying. They are searching for the sleeping soldier, believing the legend is real, that a savior is literally sleeping under the city. Trevor scoffs at the fairy tale. But then he drops his own bombshell. "I'm a Belmont." The room goes silent. The speakers stare at him. They know the name. The House of Belmont, the exiled family of monster hunters, hated by the church, feared by the people. The elder realizes this is no coincidence. A Belmont knows the old magic. A Belmont knows the dark. And if anyone can find the truth buried under grisset, it's him.
Trevor stares at the speakers, disbelief written all over his face. "Let me get this straight," he says. "You think there's a savior sleeping under the city, and you're just waiting for him?" The elder nods solemnly. "But there's more. One of their own, the elder's grandchild, went into the catacombs to find this sleeping soldier and never came back. It's a suicide mission. The city's leader is dead. There's no defense. The church has abandoned reason for madness. And these nomads, armed only with their faith and their stories, plan to stay until they find their lost kin or die trying." "So that's the plan?" Trevor asks, voice dripping with cynicism. "Just sit here and get slaughtered?" He mocks them, suggesting he'll just find a tall tree and watch the city burn from a safe distance. All the good little people dying horribly. Great show. But the elder cuts deep. "You feel no compassion?" That strikes a nerve. Trevor snaps. "Compassion? This is what they wanted. My family were the only ones who could have fought Dracula. But they didn't want us. They exiled us. They chose this." He's bitter, yes, but he's also right. The people stood by and let the Belmonts fall, and now they are reaping the whirlwind. "For evil men to win," Trevor says, reciting the old truth, "all good people have to do is stand aside and do nothing." "There is always a choice," the elder replies quietly. "You can watch us die, too." The guilt hangs heavy in the air. Trevor tries to push it away, telling them to flee, to save themselves. But then one of the younger speakers breaks. "It's his grandchild. We can't leave our dead behind." Trevor looks at the elder. The old man's stoic mask cracks just a little. He isn't just a leader. He is a grieving grandfather hoping against hope. Trevor sighs. He hates this. He hates that he cares. "Fine," he groans. "If I go into that hole and bring back your kid's body, will you leave?" The elder hesitates. "They're coming for you," Trevor warns, his voice low and urgent. "This is going to be a massacre before the sun even sets. I know what it's like to be hunted by your own people. So I'm asking you, if I bring them back, will you leave?" The elder looks him in the eye. "If that is your condition, then yes." Trevor cracks his knuckles. The deal is struck. "Stay here," he commands, walking toward the door. "Don't go looking for trouble." As he reaches for the handle, the elder calls out one last thing. "Belmont, it is not dying that frightens us. It is living without ever having done our best." Trevor pauses. He doesn't turn around. "I don't care," he lies. He steps out into the wind. He's heading into the catacombs, into the dark, to find a dead body, a mythical soldier, and maybe a little bit of redemption.